Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Stephen with you from the Retail Innovation Lounge at South by Southwest, and I am with Nathan Coyle, CEO of Domino Media Group, and we just had this awesome conversation around what Domino Media Group is doing in experiential retail. Can we talk about this? Let's talk pop-up. Let's talk pop-up.
Absolutely.
So you did something in New York in December 2017. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. My background is in digital media and publishing, and I'm a big believer that creating IRL in real life experiences around a digital publishing brand is an incredible way to tell your brand story, bring it to life, and connect with your fans and your audience in a big way. Well, with Domino, it adds a whole nother layer because in addition to being a publisher, we're also an e-commerce business, and we are a merchant retailer, native commerce. We take the credit card, we run the transaction, we manage every aspect of that. And so for this, it was beyond experiential. It was the chance to actually create a brick and mortar store. And so that's what we did. And it was on Great Jones Street off of the Bowery for weekends in December. And then the last week running up to Hanukkah and Christmas, we actually stayed open every day because it was
there
so
was
successful,
a demand.
we couldn't not do it.
And I love the flexibility in that, and I think that traditional retailers could learn a lot from what you have done. So I want to talk about that just from an innovation, iterative experience for a second, because this started out as like a brand exercise.
Yeah, it started out as let's bring our brand to life, and then it became so much more.
Yeah, and then how did you iterate along the way? So you had some really interesting elements. So you have one, you were flexible with the space. So I think you expanded some of the space elements of that, right?
Well, yeah. So we started out as saying let's create this shop and let's have it be a brand experience. And so then it was really my editor-in-chief who said, well, let's look at the way we curate the objects in this store through the filter of the publications that we publish and the things and the people that we write about. So the objects, many of them in the shop were created by tastemakers, creatives, designers, you name it, that we actually write about in our magazine and our digital publication. So that was an exciting way to kind of create this symbiosis or through line between the publication and retail. And then the other piece, which we were talking about earlier, is that we found out from the landlord of the storefront shop that we rented that actually a studio was also available in the same building. And we said, well, we'll take that too and we'll figure something out. And as we talked about earlier, we ended up doing these workshops that were paid and ticketed, $100 a ticket, every weekend in the studio space with the influencers that we write about, doing wreath making classes, gift wrap classes, printmaking. So it was this something that became so much bigger than we had originally and kind of ever anticipated or planned.
You know what? I love that, and here's why. Because when we talk about innovation in the startup world and technology world, a lot of what is being talked about in retail is that retailers need to bring some of those elements of startup to their businesses. And really what you did is you came in, what I'm hearing is that you had a plan, we want to create this experience, have a pop-up, but you also weren't planned for everything to the end, and you kind of went with the flow, took the opportunities, and were opportunistic with it.
Yes, absolutely.
And the other piece that I really like that you did that I think people can learn from is the blending of the online to offline, and then also bringing in influencers and the media piece and the touch and feel piece to connect with your audience.
Absolutely. And then bringing in a brand sponsor, in this case it was Target, in a way that was, I think really fresh and innovative. And so they wanted to advertise private label wrapping paper. And so as I talked about earlier, we created this, we took the whole idea of gift wrapping of a object that you've just bought and you want to give to someone happening somewhere in a back room of the shop. And we pulled the whole thing out front and actually created a wrapping station in the storefront window, and then had all of the individual staff working the store, the salespeople, trained by this incredible paper artist. So it became this like moment of performance art every time that you had something that you bought that you were going to give as a gift right there in the window that people would see as they were walking by on a snowy Saturday in New York City in December.
So it's a little bit of the surprise and delight factor, right?
Absolutely.
For sure, like wow, the magic of the moment. There's one more piece I want to talk about with you too that you laced in, right? So we have an experience, we have influencers, we have online to offline. The other piece is you wove in some social good.
Yes.
Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we, I felt for so many reasons, it was important that we align with, with a charitable organization. And so, given the time of the year, the holidays, what our holidays about is about family. So we supported, and a portion of every sale that we generated, as well as some proceeds that came from the opening night party, an organization called Family Equality Council that supports gay and lesbian and transgender families as well as youth. And so it was a great organization to support, and especially at that time of year when I don't want to end on a down note, but
No, I think it's a very much of an up note.
Challenges
Yeah.
of homeless,
Oh, yeah.
gay and lesbian or transgender kids whose families literally kicked them out of the house.
Yeah.
It's just so sad, and so the idea that we could support this organization
Right.
that really does so much for those kids
Well, and
over the holidays just was a great thing to do, and made us feel even better about something that already we felt pretty good about.
So that's exciting, right? I mean, I think that's the opportunity to not only create something that's experiential, connect with your audience, but also to that social good piece is
Absolutely.
so relevant to building a great business
Yeah.
for the future, but also relevant because it helps change the world,
Yeah.
improve the world. So
Yeah.
with that, Nathan Coyle, thank you so much.
Thank
They're
you.
going to be up to some big things in 2017, 2018,
More to come,
so there's more to come.
come.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.